Hello and welcome to the next of our full moon meditations with me, Ellie Latrobe. And today our sun is in the sign of Taurus. So our meditation is going to focus on what illumination we can get over this full moon period. So just to back up, let's review where we are in the year, what's going on, what Taurus means, and where my philosophy comes from, and how the differences between esoteric and your regular astrology is. So within each of the 12 signs of the zodiac, that the light, the energies stream through from the sun onto planet Earth through the cycle of our year as the earth goes round the sun, and that sun is drawing the light. It's the life-giving entity that brings all of this potential for consciousness on this planet to be created. And this influences the evolution of the whole of the earth, plus the whole of us as humanity, all of us as societies, and in our partnerships and as individuals. So in Aries is the start of the cycle, and we received our seeds. So because a lot of us are slowing down, not all of us, some of us are standing up and being counted right now, call to action, but others of us are being asked to slow down. So hopefully you have a few new ideas, a few new seeds, things that you want to create in your life to start embodying. And that's really where the Taurus comes in. A seed cannot germinate without the soil around it, without the optimum conditions for that seed to start to root, start to shoot, start to show itself, and for the rest of the cycle to continue through the year. So this is a very key part of the year. In fact, the first three signs, the first three full moons of our year are of primary importance. If we do the work right now, the ideas that we want to create and the soil that we are preparing to plant those seeds in is just going to allow the seeds to grow. Obviously, we have to maintain them, we have to look after them, and that's the work for the rest of the year. But if we get our foundations right, if we take out the weeds that we don't want to be living in our soils, if we rip out the old foundations of the routines, of the belief statements that we used to live our life by, we can build the structures of this that are going to support this new idea to happen. So Taurus is an earth sign. It's a fixed earth sign. Its opposing sign is Scorpio. So our moon, yes, is in Scorpio, but the sun is in Taurus. So the light is still coming from Taurus. But this polarity that you cannot separate fully from Taurus to Scorpio, which is your fixing of ideas, very practically establishing routines, establishing habits, reevaluating belief statements we hold about ourselves to allow those seeds to grow, directly relates to what we have in Scorpio, which is the going deep into the emotions, into why things don't turn out quite right, going into the shadow, like why are those weeds still coming up? So if we do a bit more work than we are used to right now, we won't have to deal with so many weeds when we get into Scorpio. Of course, when we start taking some weeds out, there's always more and more roots, isn't there? So sometimes, when you're walking on this path, you kind of feel like, oh, I wish I hadn't started, because we're going deeper and deeper, and it feels like it should be hard, it should be easier, right? But once you stand up and you say, okay, I'm going to take the reins of my life, I'm going to live my life most full, then you're inviting to go into deeper darkness, but into deeper light. And only through kind of really digging down into the foundations, the Taurus, and evaluating why that emotions are still there, Scorpio, can we really root out all of those weeds we don't need in our lives, those belief statements, whether it's fear, whether it's pride, whether it is self-doubt, all those things that limit our truest expression. So the way that my philosophy works subtly different to your regular astrology and regular horoscopes that you see out there is that this astrology treats you as a soul, and as a soul you are coming through this physical, emotional, mental body, which is your personality. Now this body, physical, emotional, mental, has been created through, yes, your genes, your DNA, your environment as you've grown, the conditioning through your society, your schooling, all of that has shaped who you are and where you are right now. Your soul, however, is always the same. It has the same force, the same urge to come through this personality. The personality, though, is quite comfortable in what it does. You know, whatever routine, whatever belief it has about itself, about the world, doesn't necessarily like change. So our overall learning through our life is understanding this relationship and this often conflict between our personality and our soul that's trying to come through and express itself. So usual astrology treats you as a personality. And if you are not a seeker, then that astrology works well enough. If you have a soul urge, if you have this drive, this kind of calling, this feel that there is an ultimate purpose to living in this body, then this is where esoteric astrology comes out. This is where your sun sign actually is only as important as your rising sign, and the understanding of the relationship between the two of primary importance. Your rising sign guiding your purpose, your higher purpose. Your sun sign kind of shaping your personality, your natural way that you would be comfortable existing. And we have to learn to work through the distortions of both our personality and our soul vibration in order to realize our higher purpose, our soul purpose. So, by becoming more conscious of the natural cycle of the sun through those different signs, of course, it's actually us that's moving, not the sun. The sun doesn't do anything, it's just perspective. It's where the sun's moving around. And awareness of our own individual makeup. And those of you who are naturally Taurian, whether you have it as your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign, you know, this moon may be easier to understand, to realize. Even if you have some Scorpio aspects, you know, you maybe feel the effects a little bit more potently. But regardless of who you are, every single step is important in your journey. Everyone has an idea. Everyone comes here as a seed, has a start, and we all grow and we all evolve and we all hopefully find out what that purpose is, be able to share it with others in the world, to help, to serve, to make this world a better place, to bring more light, more love, more laughter, more goodwill onto this planet. That's what we're all here to do. So Taurus is, in conventional sense, is ruled by Venus. And Venus, of course, is the, you know, as romantic and love-filled and sensual, really enjoys Valentine's Day, you know, the roses, the chocolate, the lingerie, right? The senses, it's very sensual. And esoterically, in its highest aspect, Taurus is actually ruled by Vulcan. And Vulcan is the reforger of metal. You know, it transforms the most toughest material, and through sheer will and force and earth energy transforms it into something new. These are very different things. So for the sun sign Taurian, you're trying to elevate from this natural love of the tastes and foods and delicious four-course meals, and followed by sex and lovely perfumes. Probably a couple of you in Scorpio feel this too. You all love these senses and experiences, and actually going up higher into that, the lightest, brightest aspect of yourself, and drawing that into body, and in that process of bringing the highest, finest, light-filled part of you into your body and into your life, you break down all those structures, you transform. It is powerful. This is manifestation, in its real fullest power. Of course, Buddha had rising sign in his lifetime, and very much went between two extremes to ultimately find the middle path, revealing through the teachings that has now then shaped a whole religion, of relinquishing our attachments to reduce suffering. Obviously, the more attached, this is a very fixed earth thing, it's Taurian, if we're fixed and attached, and we love our four-course meals, and we don't want to give up on our roses and our chocolates and our sex, then it's much harder to transform and actually elevate all of that, and actually want sex as a experience of love, want to be able to grow foods, to use foods to heal, to elevate our senses, to understand more and more about who you really are. So I think that's probably enough preamble on Taurus. We all hopefully will be finding our middle path, not rejecting our physical or our spiritual selves, bringing both together, letting go of the past. This is collectively what we all have to do right now. We have been living in ways that are unsustainable for the planet, for humanity, for a long time now, and this is really a pivotal point that we're all living in. So it's really important now that we all, those of us who are seeking and all feel that urge, come together and work on ourselves, work in our lives, work that transformation, send those ripples, and create that change. And only you know what your ultimate purpose is. So beginning our meditation. If you haven't got enough time for this, you can always come back a little bit later. The full moon this year is tomorrow. If you're in Ireland or UK, it's kind of 11:45 or so, nearly midday. So it's good now up until kind of 2 days after, maybe Friday, Saturday. You can do it as many times as you like. And we will ground ourselves first. So if you're sitting on a chair, soles of feet down. If you're seated cross-legged, make sure you feel comfortable. And draw those shoulders up and back. You want to ground yourself down, open up the heart space, maybe turn the palms down on whatever legs or lap, whatever feels right for you. And just closing your eyes and rooting yourself down into the earth. Take a big inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Two more times, just coming into your body, coming into this moment right now. And feeling that ground beneath your feet, your legs, whatever you're sitting on, which is made of physical form. grounding yourself by sensing through all the places in your body that are touching anything else, whether it's the floor, whether it's the seat, whatever is touching whatever else. And then bringing your breath in and out through your nose. Even up the breath. How do you feel? Where have you been? And those of us with no earth in our charts, or very few aspects in our charts, we really need to root now. So from the base of your spine, rooting down into the ground beneath you. Those of you who naturally go there, let yourself sink down. Let your body be held. Let your body be supported. Ground yourself down as you send roots out through the tailbone into the center of the earth. Feel those roots reaching out through the earth beneath you, nurturing you, providing you with all that you need, physically, financially, support, whatever you need. Draw it in through those roots. Feel that abundance. There is no lack. And draw that in. And with your exhale, let go of the fear. Let go of the self-doubt. Let go of the pride, which stops you from changing things, stops you from being perceived as something different. Grounding down, feeling that support. And drinking up through the roots all that nourishment, all that support financially and practically that you need to transform, to break down the old foundations, to dig up the old lawn and make fresh, fertile soil. And then into your heart. Taurus very much linked to Anahata, or to the heart chakra. This is where our light comes down into our form and creates our conscious soul. These three aspects of who we are. Becoming aware of that soul, that heart energy. And then up through the crown of your head. Reaching up above your head, spreading those branches. Receiving that light, that illumination. And as you turn your eye gaze inwards and upwards, keep your hands, palms down, feet, keep yourself rooted. Those of you who naturally fly off, you know who you are, you Geminis, you Sagittarians, root down, gaze inwards and upwards, opening up your branches to the highest point of light and allowing that light to stream down. This is your vertical axis. This is your connection from your spirit, from your vibratory light and life, bringing that down through the crown, down through the spine, down into those roots. Let the light penetrate the whole of who you are. And then from your roots, drawing up, drinking up through those roots, up through the trunk of your tree, up through the crown of your head, opening up those branches above you. And in your own way, taking a 5 or 6 breaths up and down your tree, your vertical axis between your spiritual and physical self, bringing all that light down and bringing all that nourishment up. All that light down and all that nourishment up. Feel subtly what's changing in your body. Another 3 breaths like that. Feel light in the darkest depths of your being. Feel nourishment, structure, and support in the lightest aspects of who you are. And then into your heart, into this place of consciousness, into this place where the light is held within our being. And feel that polarizing, feel that expanding from your heart. Allow it to become the magnet that it truly is. Your soul forces magnetism. And through that power, you can connect to others even when you're alone. You can connect to the group of people that you work with even when you're working alone. You can connect with all of humanity, even those you don't understand as personalities, even those who vibrate on a completely different frequency from you. Expanding out and creating that horizontal axis. Everything we draw up from Mama Earth and draw down from Father Sky, we can spread our wings outwards to connect to everyone else who also is a soul embodied, also has this frequency and form, also has a soul and is a point of magnetism. Feeling your heart expanding with every breath. And then turn your gaze inwards and upwards once more, keeping that sensation of your heart open, your roots deep, and your crown reaching up. Aspire upwards to receive on this full moon. What things need to change? What routines need change? How are you treating your body and what needs to change? What beliefs do you hold about yourself, or hold about others that are holding you back? Do you believe in yourself? Do you fear what change would bring? Are you worried about what other people think about you? And then bringing into your mind's eye any one of the ideas you've had in the last month, of the things you want to bring into your life or into this world, and crystalline it in your mind. What is it? Who are you trying to become? What are you trying to create? And really visualize it. Bring that seed forth from the last month's work. And around that seed, what does it need? What routines in your life does it need? What habits do you need to develop? What physical resources do you need? And visualize them there. Every time a fear or a lack comes in, visualize it. Visualize having that thing or enough finance or enough skills. If you want to retrain, you'll have to go back into study. Where will you study? See yourself having enough money to afford that course, to be able to develop those skills, to be able to change your life. Or maybe it's simply feeding yourself, nourishing yourself. How are you going to change that? Do you need more knowledge? Do you need to shop different? Maybe you want to reduce the amount of waste that you're creating. How are you going to do that? How are you going to change your purchase choices? How are you going to use waste that you create around your own home, in your own life, etc., etc.? What are those things? What are those ideas? And what needs to change? Draw it all in, draw it down into your heart. Even if you don't receive any conscious visualizations or knowingness, just feel a drawing down from the crown, drawing that knowingness down into your heart. Invite guidance. This is the festival of Wesak. This is, many people say, this is when the Buddha comes closest to earth. Allow yourself to be illuminated right now. Allow yourself to receive. And draw that into your heart. Draw that light into the form. Bring the candle into the lantern. And allow that lantern to lead your way this year. When you feel that candle in your heart, when you feel that lit here, again, return to your vertical and your horizontal axis, rooting down and up, inwards and outwards, downwards and upwards, inwards and outwards, inviting that illumination to grow through your life, maybe through synchronistic events, maybe through conscious thought and planning. Being very practical, grounded, the Taurian bull, sometimes we have to be a little bit stubborn. This is what I want. I am going to knock down those walls, and then I'm going to stick my hooves in the mud, and I'm not going to budge. This is my new way of living. Take a big inhale, exhale through your mouth. And then up to the highest place in your creative imagination. And from that point of light, bring light down into your third eye and then out to all those other individuals across this planet. Invite that illumination into your family, into your friends, to society, and to humanity. And then into your heart, into the deepest place of love. where love is all. And from that place, love into your heart and outwards to all other souls. Wishing they feel that connection. Know they are not alone. That there is no true separation. And feel that yourself. Whatever you're going through, you are not alone. And then into your core, feeling that will, a good will deep down, that desire, that urge to bring goodness into every thought, into every word, into every action, into every creation that makes the world we live in, and bringing that to all other persons across this planet who have that ability to feel the force of goodwill. It's a real downward feeling, sensation. And then from your creative imagination, take yourselves into all of humanity, the group, the ultimate group. This is all of us, all together. And let everyone find their purpose, finding their group, finding how and what they work in to create that transformation individually, relationship, society, and as a whole. Big inhale, big exhale. Let's take 3 ohms to seal our practice. If you feel uncomfortable with that, just listen to the sound of Om. Om really activates our soul. It's a call and response. So we kind of sound it and then we listen and we feel the effect of it. Taking an inhale and exhale. An inhale for Om. 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 And rubbing your legs, feeling that physical form, promising yourself to nourish this body, look after it. You know, if this body is at unease, then we can't calm our emotional body, calm our mental body in order to draw both our soul, both what I call our everyday hero, into our personality and live unmasked and whole. So I wish you all the best for the next month ahead in all the transformation and wall knocking down that you're going to be involved with. And see you in a month's time as we start to rebuild our world with our full moon with the sun in Gemini. Namaste. May you be all that you are.